also had she must have been 94.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just have to tell you, in the interest of full disclosure, that you are now live, like other people can hear you because I'm doing a live stream for Patreon. So in case you're about to say something very personal, there's like 18 people who can hear you.
That is okay.
Okay.
I'm just telling you that my sister Savannah and I had our grandmother read Fault in Our Stars, and then we went and took her to the movie.
Oh.
And she absolutely loved it.
Did she really?
And yeah, she was. I think it was 94 at the time, and she's still alive and kicking and loving reading all of your books. So
that is so cool.
She's looking forward to your new release. We've already told her all about it.
That's great to hear. I don't like to put too much commercial pressure on anything, but do make sure that she gets her own hardcover of the book, separate from you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. However it works best for you guys.
My sister usually gets them first and then gives them to me, and then we make sure that the grandmother gets them. But the grandmother wants it first. So.
I mean, don't be afraid to buy 3 copies. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's great to talk to you.
I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. Take care.
All right.
Bye. Hey, guys. So I gave up a phone number on Instagram. This is not my real phone. This is a phone that Google sent me that I use only for weird projects. I think that I'm going to have to decline some of these calls for a while. I don't know where my brother is. Hey, Hank.
Yeah, who are you just talking to?
Oh, strangers who I gave out my phone number on Instagram, and a number of people have been calling me, actually. You'd be surprised.
It's a questionable choice, I feel like.
I think it's been a great choice. If I could just figure out how to turn off notifications on this here fancy Google phone so that that noise stops happening. I'm getting a lot of calls, more, to be honest, than I did expect. Oh God. I'm just going to give it to Rosianna. It was great. It was great to talk to people. I mean, I'm just trying to sell copies of my new book, Turtles All the Way Down, which comes out October 10th, Hank, and I'm trying to do it by talking to everyone who will answer their phone.
Oh, that's really a thing you're doing.
I'm trying to do something with my nervous energy that will be productive, in quotation marks. I am extremely anxious about the fact that my first book in 6 years is coming out in 13 days. And also, I would like it to be commercially successful. And to that end, I am trying to call every American and ask them to pre-order my book.
The fact that your phone is ringing all the time, that seems to be a way to increase anxiety.
Oh, no, actually, I found it quite helpful because every person I talk to is like, I've already pre-ordered it. And then that makes me feel like we're doing pretty well.
So do you have another phone that you will be able to use after today?
Oh, yeah, just to be clear, that is not my phone. I mean, that is definitely not my phone. You know, it's funny, like, I feel like, so that phone is only used, it's a project phone. And the last time I used it was to call undecided voters in the run-up to the November 2016 U.S. elections. And I do
appreciate the good work you did there.
I had a lot of interesting and depressing conversations. And just to bring it all the way around, I've had a lot of interesting and depressing conversations today in the wake of my video about Trump and Russia.
Yeah, I've had a discouraging morning for some reason. I just woke up feeling bad about America.
Well, did you watch my video?
I did. I did that right before I went to sleep.
And did you look at the comments?
I did.
That was your mistake. That was your mistake.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been frustrated by people's lack of interest in understanding any kind of nuance.
Yeah, there is a lot of yeah, it's distressing. I mean, I guess what I find distressing is people assuming that they are correct. That is the end of the sentence. And I hope that I don't assume that I am correct. Like, I hope that someone will tell me, like, hey, you're assuming that you're correct right now, and that is not the good way to approach the world, because people are deeply flawed and often wrong.
Yeah, that's very true. And also, like, our desire to sort of see everything within the frame of how we're already imagining the world. There's so much information that becomes very, very easy.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Can I tell you Charlotte's name-specific sign-off?
Sure.
From the web, Charlotte.
It only works with an email, but that's most of what we send these days.
That is a good name-specific sign-off. Natalie, one suggested for Natalie is naturally Natalie, which is nice and punny. I like it. And you are naturally Natalie. Well, yes, I feel like all we ever do on Dear John and Hank Patreon live streams is complain about the state of internet discourse. But
John,
yeah,
Neil Ardley, in or out?
In? What the fuck? Who's talking about Neil Ardley out?
I don't know. It's just somebody said that in the chat.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. This is just my opinion. I think Neil Ardley is the best manager that Wimbledon can currently attract. So that is my feeling. I think Neil Ardley is a good manager who has a very low budget. I'm concerned, no doubt. I am concerned, but yeah, I am concerned.
I feel like Wimbledon has such a great story. Can't that attract people?
Not at the moment.
Is that how football works? People don't just sign up for a football team because they have a good story. A movie someday about how Wimbledon's great.
Yeah, I still think that we could maybe get that movie made, and that would be really good. But I don't know. I'm very worried. I'm spending most of my time worrying right now. I'm in a pretty intense. Yeah. I think that this will be better by the time you and I meet up on October 9th, Hank. But if it isn't, I apologize in advance.
So, John, here's an interesting thing. I announced that I'm writing a book and that it will be published next year, around this time.
Yes.
And people, but either created a Goodreads page for it, or a Goodreads page was created for it somehow. And there are reviews, and I have already found myself, no joke, reviews for a book that isn't out yet.
Oh yeah, no, I still check the reviews almost every day for Turtles All the Way Down, even though no one has read it. But despite the fact that no one has read it, it has a lot of 1-star reviews. In fact, I almost made a YouTube video about this, but I was like, it's probably self-indulgent, and also like you kind of can't complain because I obviously have had incredibly good luck in my professional life, like incredibly, like on the very far edge of the curve. But Turtles All the Way Down is my 3rd best reviewed book, even though it hasn't come out. People already already like it less than they like Looking for Alaska and The Fault in Our Stars, despite no one having read it. I don't know what that says about the internet, but that's the truth.
I'm confused by this question from 3 years ago. Is this real? John usually releases titles on his new videos, and he hasn't said anything about a new book. How could that have come from 3 years ago?
Oh, because this page was created 3 years ago, but it was just called John Green's New Book, and then Goodreads updated it to say Turtles All the Way Down back in June. So most recently, on September 26th, Susan gave it 1 star. What's up, Susan? What did I do wrong? You know the crazy thing? Hank, I don't want to harp on this subject, but you want to know the super, super crazy thing? This book, Turtles All the Way Down, which does not come out for 13 days and no one has read it, was given 1 star by a user, I'm not going to name them, a user who has only ever reviewed 1 book, which is Turtles All the Way Down, which they gave 1 star. Like, did a competing publisher hire
Come
Bob
on.
to give Turtles All the Way Down 1 star? I don't understand. I don't know.
It's the Russians, John. It's the Russians. They're coming for you. They saw your
They do
video
not
and they're
like-
like, well, fine,
Oh,
1
boy.
star.
Well, and as you know, Hank, we have a history on that front that makes me a little nervous, but I'm just trying to do my best to stay on the right side of Russian intelligence while also staying on the right side of history, which is difficult.
Yeah, that's not a super easy one. You could not make videos about Russia, but there you go, spoiling that one more than one time.
Yeah, Susan.
Susan.
Man, I'm excited for this week's pod, Hank, because last week you were so funny. So hopefully you'll be funny again. Hank, are you going to do a tour?
Was it good last week?
You were. Are you going to do a tour for An Absolutely Remarkable Thing?
I feel as if what I'm learning about the publishing process is that you are not in charge as the author.
I mean, you can complain a lot, and that sometimes leads to changes.
Yeah, but at this point, I have no idea. I think that there's several different ideas on the table.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a long way off. This is a great question from Literary Circle. Do you budget your charitable giving? And if so, how do you budget for unexpected disaster giving, or do you just expect not to be able to budget for that?
I do budget my charitable giving, but because of the weirdness of my income, I don't really know how much money I made until substantially into the year after I made it.
Right. Yeah. Hank a long time ago suggested a thing to Sarah and me that called secular tithing. For a long time, there's a tradition in churches where you give 10% of your income to the church. And I thought that this was a very good idea, especially because very consistently studies show that as people become wealthier and their income goes up, the percentage of their income that they give to charity goes down. That is
and yet they still get parties thrown for them, and they get everybody like takes them out to dinner and says thank you so much for your donation of less in terms of because a small percent of a very large number is a very large number.
Right, and I actually think that's one of the reasons why people give less is because they feel the benefits of giving more. So anyway, as a way of trying to ensure against this apparently like natural human instinct, we have tried to do that where 10% of our income is designated for charity every year. And like Hank, we sometimes have to kind of retroactively refit things depending on failure to understand, income streams. But as far as disaster giving goes, Sarah and I do make gifts. They're usually relatively small in direct responses to disasters, but we also try to remember that in a lot of cases, the rebuilding process or the needs of those communities that are affected by disasters go on for much, much longer than the news cycle about those disasters goes on. So while there is certainly like a lot of benefit to raising money in the first weeks after a disaster, a lot of times the money is needed many months after a disaster. So we try to bear that in mind.
Yeah. There's with all income, it can be a little bit frustrating when it comes in lumps and not in steady streams, and so.
I mean, first world problems.
It's not, but it's literally not a first world problem if it's disaster giving in some cases where you want to help them even out their income streams as well.
I thought you were complaining about your income. Hank, did you consult with John before you decided to publish a book? No, he did not.
Yeah, did I at all? Did I?
No.
What?
I think you you like kept me informed, but and I think like that was the right way. I think Hank wanted this process to be separate from me, and I am 100% in favor of that. Like he's going to have his own book and his own publishing life. That's great. Just like it's going to be like Hank's channel.
Just like Hank's channel.
Yeah.
Do you have your headphones in? But I swear I can hear an echo. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I can't. I hear you in my headphones, and I don't hear you outside of my headphones. Somebody posted, "Fight me, Susan," which is good advice. Seriously, Susan, what the hell? I mean, what do I need to do to get a 2-star review from Susan? Maybe write a book that Susan's read. I'm not ready to let this go, Hank.
I don't understand.
Susan gave me a 1-star review.
Yeah, I forgot.
How could you forget? How could you forget? It's the only thing I ever think about. Hey, what are the reviews like for An Absolutely Remarkable Thing so far?
I think it's in the 4s, but I think it went down last time I checked.
Hold on, I'm gonna check. 4.09. I'm at 4.02. Oh.
Oh man, are we gonna fight about this? Are we gonna fight our have a Goodreads rank battle?
First off, I don't want to complain, but you have literally no 1-star ratings. It's almost like people who haven't read your book don't hate it yet.
Honest, I understand a 1-star review better than I understand all these 3- and 4-star reviews. Like, how are you waffling? How are you unsure? How are you in the middle?
How do you hate a book that
Thank you, John. Because you're popular, and so there's, like, by definition going to be a cadre of people who think you suck, because that's one of the ways that people define themselves is by defining themselves in opposition to things that are popular. And your books have been popular, and so people are like, oh, John Green, 1 star. But like this book, so I get that. I get people might not like me. If you hate me and you're like, YouTubers shouldn't be publishing books, 1 star. Okay, fine. I understand. 3 stars? Why are you in the middle? If you're either very excited or like this, there's only one reason to rate a book that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Or because you are unenthusiastic about this person, but not 3 stars could be better, this book that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
The book, I don't even know if it's good yet.
I mean, Hank, it occurs to me that our complaints right now are coming from a place of such ridiculous, astonishing, stupid privilege that even I find us annoying.
I'm not. Yeah. Sure.
I'm gonna you know what? We're gonna delete this whole live stream. We're not.
It's
nobody screenshot it.
Cut it out. We're restarting the live stream. Starting over again. This is every episode of Dear Hank and John.
That is every episode. We do like 10 minutes, and then I'm like, no, this all sucked. We have to start over. And Hank's like, really? And I'm like, yes. And then it turns out that the first time was actually better. Mary says, if you're giving 10% anyway, I bet you're taking the Giving What We Can pledge would be great for its visibility. That's a good idea, Mary. I will look into that. I will make a note to figure out if that pledge is in line with what we do, and or if it should be. At NerdCon Stories, John told me a story about a man going insane in an elevator with a 2-liter bottle of soda. As I recall, he didn't even have a 2-liter bottle of soda, actually. He had like 3 cigarettes from his pack of cigarettes, and he was going downstairs to smoke. And he got stuck in the elevator for 3 days.
Yeah, and it really did not turn out well for him.
He never recovered.
Yeah.
Yes, he did never recover.
Not like physically. Psychologically.
No, he never recovered emotionally. There's a video that I strongly advise you not watch. Anyway, Matt says not to brag, but I go to school with Nathan Zed. That is the coolest person you could possibly go to school with in the entire world.
Not to brag, but I just got back from a shoot where I ate the food that feeds to her animals, and it's and in the back of my throat, and it's really gross.
Sarah says, I'm here late, but what do you guys think about 280 characters?
Oh God, it's a terrible idea.
Oh, it's epically terrible. I think. I mean, I hate change, like every citizen of the internet. Yeah. So I'm gonna think it's a terrible idea, even if it's a good one. But I thought that what Griffin McElroy said about it was perfect.
Which was?
Did you see it?
I couldn't hear you.
What Griffin McElroy said about it was, when I get on Twitter, the first thing I think is, I wish there was twice as much of this.
Oh boy, I really wish that all these people had more space. Bad idea.
Yeah, yeah. John, should I just ignore my boyfriend on his birthday because that's when Turtles All the Way Down comes out? Yes. Or you can read it together. You can give him the choice.
280 character tweet a day. Long.
Yeah, right.
Make work for it.
That's a great idea. First off, you should only be allowed to tweet 3 times a day. That should be a rule.
I love this. This is the future that we've all been waiting for at Twitter. You have to earn your tweets.
Right. Unless you're live streaming an event, you can only tweet 3 times a day. And if you're the president, you can actually only tweet once per day.
Special rules for the president. Oh my gosh, I would be so into a Twitter where you could only tweet 3 times a day. Oh God, please let them make that change. John, do you ever think that the people who work for Twitter know how bad Twitter is for people and the world?
True, actually. I think that I mean, the funny thing about, okay, there was an amazing quote about Twitter.
You looking for it?
I'm looking for it. There is an amazing quote about article read that was just, it reminded me that like millennials are out there writing beautifully, writing really, really well, and that like the future of literature in better hands. But I don't remember the quote at all. So while you continue to talk, I'm going to look it up.
All right. Well, I don't know if you saw, but when Jack, the, I don't know, founder, CEO, or whatever of Twitter, doesn't say in his Twitter bio, because he's too cool to have a Twitter bio, apparently, which is, I think, extraordinarily obnoxious. He tweeted this like long tweet, and several people have edited the tweet to have the same meaning, but fit into 140 characters. And he retweeted one of those people with the comment, "Yes, this is clever," without any punctuation, which I think is just the like, man, come on, just
God.
Oh God. Be in the place. Understand. Oh God. Yes, this is clever.
Oh God. But I mean, on the other hand, like, weren't we being totally unself-aware when we were complaining about our 1-star reviews for our books that are going to be published to wide audiences?
Yeah, but like I'm doing it on a live stream with a bunch of my buds. I'm not doing it as the CEO of a company.
Well, but yeah, I agree with you, but yes, I agree with you. I found the quote. It is from an article that was written by a guy named Sam Ashworth, or actually a person named Sam Ashworth. I don't know their gender. It's called "Dispatches from the Swamp, Storm's Coming." And this is the quote about Twitter that I thought was just a phenomenal sentence. The thing about Twitter is that no one who uses it needs an explanation of why it is the worst. It is an endlessly self-renewing bonfire of outrage and confusion, and in order to sustain that bonfire, it converts bullshit into fuel in a way that makes the 24-hour news cycle look prim and ascetic. I mean, like, that should be Jack's freaking bio.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes me want, like, I don't know. It makes me wonder if I owned Twitter, or if I was a large shareholder in Twitter, if I worked for Twitter, if I'd be like, you know what, guys, we should make it so that people can only tweet once a day, because right now it's just not working. Like, what we're doing is bad and it's just not working, so we need to fix it. And yeah, we're not going to make money. Yeah, we're never going to be worth the amount of money that we thought we were going to be worth, and we're never going to be Facebook, but we're going to try to do this thing better. And it makes me wonder if I could ever make that kind of like my friends and family, terrible for all the people who work for me and all the people who have shown their faith in me kind of decision, because it's better for the world.
Right.
I just, like, I don't think I could.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot because I often judge people who make countercultural decisions or who make decisions that seem out of line with what the social order expects. But in fact, I have literally never made one of those decisions. Not in any big part of my life. I've never had to have a fulfilling life. Sometimes, which is largely a function of privilege, I think. But it takes such bravery that I can only glimpse to make a big life decision that runs counter to the expectations of the social order. It is so hard to do that, even in small ways. It is so hard, for instance, to like not buy a bigger house when you have more money. It is so hard to it's so hard to not marry a person of the gender that you're expected to marry because that's what the social order wants. Like, I think people underestimate how incredibly difficult it is to live in a way that is actually true to yourself when it means defying the expectations of the social order. And something I've been thinking a lot about lately is just how heroic that is, and how in many ways that's kind of the definition, I think, of contemporary heroism. Anyway,
sounds
that's
like
just
my brother.
What's that?
I said that sounds like a good video topic, my brother.
Oh no. I'm just going to keep making stuff about Trump and Russia because the quality of discourse is so good.
I don't know what my video is going to be about this week, John. What's going on?
I don't know. My book comes out 10 days after your video. Just do what you want to do. I said, just do what you want to do.
I'll just go and repurpose a bunch of BuzzFeed articles or like Reddit things that got a lot of upvotes, except that now it's mine.
I just want to quickly say that Emma Price appears to have had a baby since we last did this. Oh, she did. She had a baby 7 days ago. Emma, congratulations. That is the hardest thing that I've ever seen a human being do in my whole life.
Also, this moment 7 days later is from what I can remember, which is not much, very, very hard as well.
Yeah, I would say that childbirth looked harder than anything that came afterwards, but a lot of what came afterwards was still very, very hard. Anyway, she says that the baby's days and nights are mixed up, which is pretty standard, but still awful.
Yep.
I hope that you are sleeping when the baby sleeps. I don't know.
That's what they say to do.
It's hard, but thank you for bringing a child into this world, and I hope that that kid has a wonderful, long, fascinating, and fulfilling life.
All right, John. Well, it's noon o'clock, so let's go make a pod.
All right, we're going to go make a podcast. Do not despair, friends. There are babies in the world. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.